Hi my friend, it's Robbie again from English Harmony. Today's topic is about something that many foreign English speakers are guilty of, trying to sound perfect when speaking English. If you're thinking that it's not an issue and aiming for perfection is generally a good thing, just think twice. While it is a fact that natural English fluency can be only acquired through learning grammatically correct phrases and word combinations, in real life you'll always make mistakes. And as many great people have said, mistakes are a vital part of any process. You simply can't succeed in anything in life without making mistakes, and speaking English is no different. On the other hand, there'll be also those who tell you not to care about correct speech at all. I've known a good few people in my life that simply didn't care about how they spoke. They would just stick the English words together, completely ignoring any English grammar rules. While most of the times they were understood by those who they were talking to, it's not the way to go. Even if you manage to speak quite fluently using English that's been put together from such bits, you just won't make any progress. But moving towards real English fluency always involves improving the language, and it just can't be done without learning natural and correct English speech patterns. I think the truth is somewhere in between. You don't have to aim for perfection, but at the same time, you have to be aware of what you're missing in terms of fluency and vocabulary, and always seek to improve on your fluency and vocabulary. But those of you who find it difficult to speak English because of fear of making mistakes should look at perfectionism from a different angle. Think about this. Every native speaker also makes mistakes when speaking English. It's totally natural, and no one will ever try to correct that person just because they are a native speaker. But when a foreign English speaker opens his mouth, it often seems that everyone's expectations are a bit higher, and so the foreign English speaker is constantly under pressure to meet the expectations of others. It's not always the case, but it tends to happen quite often. I've heard this too many times from other foreign English speakers. I'm embarrassed to speak English. I know my English is so bad, and I'm so afraid of making mistakes. And even when that person improves his or her English to a decent level, the issue is still there. They constantly feel as if they're under scrutiny of native English speakers or of those who can speak English better than them. It is a paradox, but you know what? Your spoken English mistakes are so much more likely to be spotted by some very advanced foreign English speaker than by native English speakers. Remember, everyday English is far from perfect if we compare it to the formal English. I'm not saying you have to ignore correct English speech, not at all. I'm just pointing it out so that you wouldn't attach too much importance to getting every single English word right when speaking. Just listen to the following English sentences. They're used by my native English speaking work colleagues every day. I done it. I seen it. Instead of I've done it and I've seen it. And how about this? It's wrote in the book instead of it's written in the book. When I heard it first, I was quite surprised, but when I analyzed this phenomenon in depth, I realized there's nothing wrong with it. When I speak my native language, I don't always follow the formal language's grammar rules and syntax either. It's not uncommon to replace the first person's verb with the third person's one. So for instance, when I say I am in spoken Latvian, I actually say I is, and so on. And by the way, the same can happen in English. When you're telling someone about something that happened in the recent past, the following grammar form is used. I says, for instance. And then I says, but why did you come in on Monday if you were sick? So why am I telling you this? It's to illustrate that real spoken English is far from perfect. There are all sorts of awkward grammar constructions and colloquialisms involved, so you really shouldn't stress out when making an odd mistake here and there. Quite a common one would be following the auxiliary verb did by a verb in the past tense instead of simple present. Say you're asking a question, did you went to the gym last night? In many languages there would be no auxiliary verb and the main verb go would stand in a past tense in a sentence. Sometimes your tongue can slip and you might apply the same grammar when speaking English. It's a tiny mistake, but yet some might say it's unforgivable for someone whose English is quite good. I'm saying it's not true. Mistakes do and always will happen, and as I said, it's only natural. Of course, you need to be aware of the mistakes you're making and try to eradicate them, but don't take it too seriously. Don't let it get you down, and don't be thinking, I'm such a loser, I'll never speak perfect English. What on earth is wrong with me? I'm telling you this, there's nothing wrong with you. Perfect English doesn't have to be your ultimate goal. You better be more sociable, easygoing, and speak as much as possible with your English-speaking friends and colleagues, making an odd mistake here and there, rather than being over self-conscious and focus on getting every English sentence perfectly correct as if reading from a book. All you really can do when speaking English is do your best and make enough effort to keep your spoken English constantly improving. That way the mistakes will take care of themselves. Well, my friend, I'm glad you watched the third episode of my video blog. You're welcome to come to my website at englishharmony.com/blog and post comments or ask questions about this video. I'd love you to share your experiences related to this video's topic so that everyone would see how important it is to avoid this self-imposed concept of perfectionism, which rather limits us than provides space for improving our spoken English. Thanks for staying with me, and see you next time!